谢谢周展安博士。我们接下来还有25分钟的时间，就是开放给全场各位来互动讨论。可以举手啊，有没有话？举手，代表。好，我们先请后位的女士，然后第二位。
谢谢台上这几位老师的演讲，觉得很受启发。我有一些想法想跟各位分享，就是我是从台湾来，然后现在在大陆念书。我来大陆并没有很长一段时间，但是有一件事情让我特别注意，就是一个人的身份，你到异地的时候，它发生的那个改变，不是说我自己发现我自己不再是个台湾人，而是说这个身份当被从外在被凝视的时候，它发生了许多的奇异性。那我分享这个经验，是因为我在这个会场里面，我也感受到这个奇异性。这样怎么说呢？就是说今天的与会的各位一定是从自己的各位是从各个地方来，那你们是从自己的文化里面抽出来，把自己置放在一个亚洲的脉络里面，然后来探讨各式各样的问题。那除此之外，我也注意到，就是这个会它是在一个比较特殊的地点所举办的，就是它是在上海当代艺术博物馆。那因为我是这个会议的工作人员，我的工作之一是接待观众进来会场。那我这边呢遇到了一个特殊的状况是说，我会遇到两种观众，一个是参观这个会，来参加这个会的观众，另外一批呢是来参加这个馆的，就是这个当代艺术博物馆的观众。他们会问到一个问题是说，这个会议它是在做什么？我就必须要跟他们解释说，这个会议呢，它是一个学术会议，是一个亚洲的学术会议，在探讨亚洲的问题。那在那个时刻，我有一个感受，就是这个会议它或多或少已经变成这个上海当代艺术博物馆的景观之一。那我觉得这是一个奇异性。我之所以讲这件事情，是因为这里有两件东西，就是第一个是从我感受到一个就是外在的对这个会的一种凝视的感受。那这些人他们是我不知道他们从哪里来，他们也许是上海的当地人，然后他们带有自己一些经验或者什么。然后在观看这个会的时候，会跟外在的这个整个博物馆的这些东西连在一起。那另外的是一个会内的大家所共享的所谓第三世界，然后对于就是对于帝国、对于现代性、对于殖民历史的大家所共享的一种焦虑或是一种期待吧。我想起前2天就是白老师他在讲说，他一直激励说我们要去想象一个变革的世界。那昨天苏哥老师也讲到说我们过去讨论了这么多，那现在呢是一个开始去实践，或是真正的去勾勒一个不同的现代世界的一个时候了。但是我这边我感受到一个困难，就是这个内外感受之间的不能够相通，或是说不能够相互看见、相互理解这是一个。然后就是我刚才听那个东马的演讲，我觉得很受激励，就是因为您讲到说一个比喻是说马跑走了，那人要赶在马的前面，那才能够拉住马。也说到说我们不是要教育人、教育大众，而是说要去连接他。但是在今天这个会场里面，我或多或少感觉到我们已经超过了那个马，所以以至于我们失去了伸手去拉住马的那个距离了。那我觉得您说到那个列宁他提出来的那个问题是说到底该从哪里着手这件事情。我有一个感觉是说，你要从哪里着手，那你首先得去想哪里是问题，哪里有问题。那我觉得这个我自己一个感受是，我觉得这就是一个问题。那 就是大概是我的意见，谢谢。
我不是要自己提问题，我只是觉得这一场啊有特别多的几位都是年轻一辈的学人学者。那么我其实整个的这1个多星期，所有的与会的，我们有很多的年轻的朋友，我是想邀请他们来发表一下他们的意见，每个人呢不要超过3分钟。我觉得我想请一下那个上海大学的王翔博士，王翔博士在不在？他又开来了啊，他等一下会回来。那么另外一位呢是蒋雅柱在不在 ？OK。
我没有想到我这么快要发言，然后我本来还以为想要利用休息的时间来写一个发言稿。那这样的话，我的发言可能会有点混乱。我自己也是一个就是台湾人，然后我来上海大学读书，现在是第3年这样子。然后，其实来这边读书每一年的感觉是越来越不一样。就是一开始的时候对这个地方是很陌生，而且是很不能理解的。该怎么讲呢？因为首先就是台湾的感觉跟中国大陆这边的感觉其实是很不一样的。可能比起中国大陆的话，可能和韩国的感觉就是一个社会进程当中的方方面面的生活机能，或者是处在东亚这个位置上面的感觉是比较相似的。就像我在08年去韩国的时候，去参加他们那个烛光游行，关于美牛议题这个烛光示威的这一个议题的时候，其实这个问题就美牛问题在台湾也存在。然后你会看见，就说在韩国跟台湾的对美国的这个部分，它是可能共同分享更多的一个心情，就是对待美国的一个态度，包括对于美国的爱憎。在大陆这边的时候，那感觉是非常不一样的。然后我花很多的时间想要去理解，就是大陆对美国的就是思考的那个纠结点，包括大陆这边因为曾经存在社会主义，然后他们对于美国的爱憎，虽然说台湾跟大陆这边有很多不一样的地方，但我觉得有一个非常也是一样，也是一个共享的一个感觉，是历史的断层。这个历史断层当然是跟可能国共内战和冷战的这么急剧的一个历史的一个进程，它有直接的关系。然后在这样的一个非常快速的历史变化当中，可能我们年轻的一代会非常不能理解上一代人的生活感觉。在台湾的话，被称作7年级生，也就是1980年代之后出生的年轻人。在大陆这边被称作是80后。我觉得我跟大陆这边，因为我自己是7年级生，然后我跟大陆这边80后的同学，然后我们其实共同交流的语言其实是可能是日本建立起来的一个流行文化，这个流行文化反而是一个共通的语言。然后在这种实际的交往当中，其实 亚洲一直在我们身边，但是我们一直没有发现，也不知道。我们更多的眼光当然是看向美国，以及对于美国的一个欲望。就像我们虽然看这个研讨会，然后但是可能大家就说也许有一些学生吧，我猜可能就是对于这个研讨会中英文的一个操作，就是会有更多的一个想象，就是觉得虽然参加这个亚洲的研讨会，但是我回去一定要把英文练得更好。我觉得这个东西也都是共享的。我自己是在台湾的时候，因为上了一点陈英真的课，其实一开始读陈英真的时候，我自己虽然对他有很多的感觉，但是其实是不能理解的。反而是来到大陆这边之后，我对于陈英真怎么样思考台湾有更多的感觉，因为就是我们7年级生，就是80后，其实是没有办法分享陈英真那个时候的亚洲视野，包括陈英真对韩国社会运动还有民主运动的很多的思考，这些东西其实对于一个在台湾生活的年轻人来说都是非常陌生的。当然，韩流在台湾是非常强势的。但是虽然韩流在台湾那么的强势，但是我们对于韩国的内在的暴力，非常暴力的这些东西是完全忽视的。包括我后来在看一些关于韩国首尔反美基地的纪录片的时候，我才可以感受到那个暴力是多么的剧烈。当然，透过就是对于这个反美基地这件事情，让我其实我是经过了韩国，然后才走到冲绳，就说对于反美基地这件事情，我该怎么说？就是对冲绳的这个反美基地，说冲绳离台湾其实是非常非常近的，但是比起韩国来说，对冲绳的了解又更微乎其微。我觉得这件事情对自己身为一个在台湾年轻人来讲说是非常抱歉的。当然我同时又必须要再说出一件事情，就是说，我一个去参加那个冲绳，就是他们运动过程当中的一个研究生，这是一个台湾的研究生，然后他去冲绳去观察这样的一个反美军基地的运动，但他回来台湾之后呢，他觉得他没有办法思考了，然后后来他觉得实在很没有希望，然后他又跑到美国去读书了。就说似乎好像有一个非常沮丧的一件事情，就是说似乎很多的努力在这样子的一个思考要去往前推进的过程当中，它被很多制度性的或者是现实正在发生的一些事情，它会一直不停被收编到这一个美国的秩序里面。当然我对这一点也是非常沮丧的。所以在这样的一个情况当中，可能是因为这个一个沮丧，然后让我比较能够理解这个会议的一个初衷，就是他其实要和这样的一个沮丧对抗，然后也是在这样的一个心情之下去理解这个就是这些亚洲思想前辈们的一个努力。我发言很混乱，先这样，谢谢。
Initially, I would like to say I appreciate all talks happening here in the past few days.
and it's quite inspiring to me and very interesting how it happened. In my understanding, this Inter-Asia network has been existing for quite a long time, but it's the first time officially showed up in mainland China in here. And the role of mainland China is quite interesting in this network. Sometimes it's like a stage, and people from other countries come in and talk what they want to say before audience, and leave. Sometimes it's like assistant to some basic work, sometimes it's like helper to have some feedback, to give some feedback and response. And like in this conference, we talk about colonization, and there are some stories about colonization in Hong Kong and Taiwan and Okinawa, how Shanghai. I was wondering how to analyze it, and I was personally, I'm really looking forward to see this kind of paper analyze Shanghai's situation. Maybe it's too complicated. Maybe the memory of New China overlapped the memory of colonization in Shanghai in 1930s. Just a few of scholars mentioned it. So this, it's quite hard to say an inner Chinese story in this Inter-Asia network. It's just my personal impression. And secondly, I would like to say, colonization, in my understanding, how does it operate upon people it's slave, to slave people, to slave them? In 1930s, Lu Xun, a very famous Chinese writer, said, we don't want to be, before the anti-Japanese war, we don't want to be Japanese slave. It doesn't mean we don't want to be Chinese slaves. It means we need to, against any kinds of oppression and colonization. But in after the 1949, we can trace back the history. We see the main goal in mainland China is to compete the West. So we put everything into it to produce A-bone, to grow economically as fast as possible. At the same time, many dies and many disasters happened. So how do we reflect on the historical experience today? To me, it's a very struggling. It's kind of a paradox. It's kind of a question. So maybe I think it's today it's a good time to remember what Lu Xun said in 1930s, to make it start, and because people can be enslaved by capitalism and also enslaved by dreams or socialism or revolution or any kinds of it. Like someone, if they say, I have big dream, I have good and big dream, I care about the whole human being, not make money. And if you guys don't follow me, don't do what I said, you are just money maker and you are just selfish. I think it's kind of just question. Yeah. Maybe some of you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's just maybe a little bit chaos, and so thank you.
好，还有一点点时间。
后面还有一位。
徐教授啊，徐清明教授，我其实看过您很多写的书，从早期的智者的尊严，近代知识分子的公共交往。我最喜欢你写的那本书就是《天地之间》，就是写那个灵童记的。就是我一直，就是说我看了这本书非常感动啊，就是灵童记先生就是使我想到那种古代的那种非常人格非常高尚的那些，像魏晋文人那种。后来就是这次开这个会，我就想，什么叫全球化啊？就是一个更大格局的战国时代，就是中国的那种，就是它走向一个现代，从1840年到现在，也许要经过200-300年的时候，就是走出完全一条不同的路。当时他们还编的那本叫做《战国策》，是不是啊？就是我就是想，他那时候办那个海光西方思想图书馆。后来这本书我给我很多那个很要好的朋友看，他们看了都非常感动，就说 但是他们想就是知道，就是当时他为了办这个图书馆，他到欧洲去拜访了很多近代的哲学家、文学家和思想家。那么拜访了哪些人呢？还有他请他们就是开一张书单，是不是？就是每个人开一张书单，就是对人类思想最有贡献的100本书啊，就是他们就想说那些书单还在不在？就是这个，想问一下。
我不太清楚这个书单还在不在，也许要去了解一下。好，还有没有？我想，这位。
大家好。其实从2007年一直参与光兴老师所办的类似的会我常常有这样子的一个感想，就是说，在集聚了不同地方的朋友一起谈各自的国家或者面对的这个困难的时候，常常会有一个会激发自己的一个位置的发现的一个想法，就是说，到底我自己的一个实践的一个位置到底在哪里？其实在，这么多场谈东亚的问题当中，但我觉得在我自己身上所发生的一些迫切的焦虑，可能就是说我可能要更多的尽可能去跟东南亚地方的这一个跟我们更多的这一个在生活在一些面对的共同问题上面的这一些国家有更多的对话，包括之前在谈这个伊斯兰的这个问题。那我其实还想非常感谢百元先生提出这个伊斯兰文明里头的它的普遍的多元的这个价值。可是我那天提出在马来西亚伊斯兰社群跟其他族群所面对的这个紧张关系，也是在于要提出说，在马来西亚的华社的内部，其实对伊斯兰的文明跟或者说对穆斯林的社群，其实没有太多的这个理解。那当然，这个没有太多的理解，主要是被困绑在各自的一种族群的焦虑，跟对自己要怎么捍卫自己的族群的这一个权益里头。所以我想这个是一个非常迫切的问题，包括说在马来西亚，不只是说有马来人的穆斯林，他也有印度穆斯林，甚至有华人穆斯林。在我过去曾经接触以前在当记者的时候，曾经访问做过这个华人穆斯林的这个议题，那发现他们面对的困境就是说，他们在华人社群跟马来社群之间，他们其实是处在很尴尬的位置，因为他们改信了伊斯兰教，华人对他们其实持有不同的态度。可是他们在马来社群当中，他们的姓名其实虽然是有马来名字，可是从他们的马来名字是知道他们不是原来是马来人，是改信伊斯兰的这个马来名字。所以这个华人穆斯林跟印度穆斯林，他们在整个穆斯林的社群里头，到底面对怎么样的困境？我觉得说，的确在华人这个社群里头，其实没有太大的关怀跟理解。我觉得这个是必须要去自我反思的。第二个，我很快想要提一个想法，就是说那天孙哥老师在最后提到说，我们能不能简单的脱离国家这个问题？是不是说不可能在国家以外说认同，可是能够在东亚有单纯的国家认同这个问题？我觉得非常有趣因为其实，在如果从马来西亚这个角度出发，国家这个到底是什么？我觉得一直以来，因为在族群的一个社会里头，他对国家有很多的想象。那我可以简单的，我可以其实提出我觉得在马来西亚对国家有一个任意的否定跟革职。换句话说，什么是马来西亚？我觉得这一个认同是必须要被重新梳理的。 这主要是我们今天知道说马来西亚主要是东马跟西马，可是只要一去到西马一去到东马，就是沙巴跟沙捞越跟那一边人的人民一谈的话，那马上他们对马来西亚这个国家的概念是出现反弹的一种情绪。他们认为在1965年，当这个沙巴沙捞越加入马来西亚之后，他们变成2的公民。所以这个如果不是跟东马的朋友有进一步的交流的话，那我们常常很浪漫的想象说，1965年才是我们进入马来西亚的国庆日。所以我觉得说，因为很多场会议，我都参与，好像是作为马来西亚的这一个发言者哈。可是我必须还是在这边想说，无论是马来西亚还是新加坡，还是东南亚很多地方，它其实内部有很多很复杂的张力。当然，我觉得这个问题也是我们必须自己要去处理。希望以后可以有更多的来自东南亚的朋友可以在这边跟大家分享更多的问题跟我们的想法。谢谢。
通常的那个论坛和会议最后总结的都是资深的教授，但是我们这个论坛是倒过来我们至少这一场有我们年轻的学者，他们来发表他们的看法，谈他们的感想，所以这就非常好。因为事实上，最后一种理论、一种话语，是否最后有生命力，这个是由年轻人来决定的。所以我想，这个今天下午这场非常好，时间已经到，我们给年轻的学者充分的一个叫总结的机会，非常好。那么接下来我们休息半个小时吗
？10分钟。
10分钟，对，我们再继续。我们接下来还有第2场总结讨论。谢谢各位。
我们现在呢，就这个总结论坛的第2场，也就是我们这一次整个这个为期1周多的这个2012亚洲思想界论坛的最后一场讨论，我们开始了。但是呢，应该在3分钟以后会有一场消防演习，大家不要慌然后我们该怎么开怎么开。我想在过去的1周里面，我们这一次2012亚洲思想界论坛汇集了来自亚洲各个地区的40多位思想界的同仁们，大家一起分享讨论。对我个人来说，这是一次很难忘的一个学习机会。这样长时间跨度的汇集了4方的朋友，并且链接起了老中新3代人的思想界的会议。用我们这一场用我们那个徐江教授的这个话来说在这个时代实在是一种非常难得的奢侈。亚洲各地区既互为语境，又互为主体。我们虽然有各自不同的现实状况，但是我们的历史脉络却真实地连接在一起。通过这整整1周的坦诚深入的学术研讨，相信诸位同仁们已经建立起了共同的视野和关切，在亚洲文化语境中又更加具有历史纵深和现实牵连的思想去置换理论，我想是光新，也是我们很多所有的亚洲思想界朋友们的共识。在刚刚复刊的《人间思想》杂志的发刊词中，有这样一段话：时代早已向我们提出了一个我们总是充耳不闻的要求，对我们所存在的乡土、民众和区域，我们当以更内在于自身历史的方式，提出 创造性的视野与开拓性的解释，在深耕在地的同时，把自身更紧密地镶嵌在亚洲与第三世界的内在。我们要重新联系上，并挖掘出区域中具有批判性的思想资源，开出更广阔的人间视野，对这个危机变故的世界提出更接近历史的解释，并寻求介入现实与开创历史的新契机。人间思想是我们大家的同仁刊物，我想以上这段话也是我们所有亚洲思想界同仁的共同的志愿。这是我一个非常简单的一个开场白。作为最后一场论坛的主持人，我想先邀请，我们现在我们就邀请，我们的来自韩国首尔的白元旦女士，她来第一个做对于这场论坛的回应性的总结性的回应。白元旦是韩国圣公会大学的中国学系的教授，亚际文化学系的系主任，同时呢也是圣公会大学东亚研究所所长。他不但是一位在大学中的这个学者，同时呢他也非常深地卷入了韩国的这个民众运动之中。所以说我们希望听到他的这个总结性的回应。
번째로 아시아 사상 회의에 참가를 하게 되는데 저는 이게 사실은 오래전부터 꿈꿔 왔던 자리입니다. 제가 80년대에 처음으로 아시아 제3세계에 관련된 자료를 만들 때 그때 20대였는데 언제 그 중국과 아시아의 친구들을 만나서 얼굴을 맞대고 같이 얘기할 수 있을까, 그리고 아시아와 세계의 미래를 이야기할 수 있을까. 근데 그게 30년 만에 이루어졌습니다. 이런 아시아, 서상 아시아의 몽상은 아시아가 아시아를 사회화된 어떤 무식화된 과거로서 만나본 적이 없기 때문에 그런 안타까움을 그렇게 된 것입니다. 근데 이번에 와서 제가 제일 놀란 거는 서천중토라고 하는 이런 또 하나의 얘기 있었습니다. 그거는 저에게 또 다른 상상력을 좀 자아냈는데요. 우리가 헐덜이라는 그 시인이 히피델의 소설을 썼는데 히피델의 소설을 썼습니다. 근데 거기에 히피델의 그 주인공 히피델의 스승 아다마스가 모델의 스스 그리스 세계를 그런 세상을 제시하고 모두 실패하고 그리고 다시 독일에 자연 속으로 돌아가는 예전적인 기회를 받았습니다. 그때 만약 캐리어의 스승 아담아스가 아시아에 들어와가지고 아시아적 자연에 대해서 아니면 아시아적인 같은 예술 문화에 대해서 이런 것들을 얘기해주더라면 19세기 아시아가 만든 공룡이 서구가 아시아의 강한 폭력이 혹시나 버려졌을 수도 있었을까? 그렇다면 우리가 지금 다시 서서히 중국하고 하는 아시아가 그리는 세계상을 어떤 식으로 제시해낸다면 세계와 아시아는 그것을 어떻게 받아들일 것이냐. 이번에 회전에 노엘이라는 중국 작가가 노벨상을 받았습니다. 근데 제가 80년대에 지상세계 문화운동을 할 때는 노벨상은 참으로 안 쳤어요. 그때는 로스상이라고 있었습니다. 그래서 한국의 기지아 시인이 로스상을 받았을 때 저희는 진심으로 축하했었습니다. 그리고 그 당시에 아시아, 아프리카, 라틴 아메리카의 예술가 문인들이 모두 다 축하 메시지를 보내는 것을 보고 모두들이 기뻐해야 되는 이야기 납니다. 예, 그래서 지금 이런 것들의 과정 속에서 제가 기억을 해보니까 제가 성장하고 공부를 시작한 이래로 아시아가 아시아를 유인해주는 기업들 그것을 역사적으로 풀어가면서 오늘 아시아가 아시아를 유인하는 국면 특히나 아시아를 사상적으로 대상화하는 문제 예를 들어서 몇 가지 저희가 가질 수 있는 논점들을 진행해 보겠습니다. 근데 가장 제가 좀 곤란하게 느끼는 것은 아시아는 저희도 그렇고 세계가 다 피해라고 생각이 연결하고 그런 측면은 아니지만 아시아는 여기서 세계 주변이 아니라는 거라서 아시아를 사랑하는 문제는 새로운 문제를 갖고 있다는 것입니다. 오늘의 아시아는 객관적 세계에서의 가장 적극적으로 통합이 되어 있는 것이 사실이고 동아시아 경제 발전 모델, 베이징 컨센서스, 싱글도 경제학, G2, 친리학, 학스 시니카 등 아시아 동아시아 서울 중국의 부산으로 형성되는 경제적 신인의 아시아 역사적 기여와 새로운 세계 권력 제도에 관한 운동들이 자본에 의한 우리적 무혈주적인 낭 새로운 지적 경관을 여시하게 계시하고 있는 것 같습니다. 그래서 우리들의 상상 계획 또한 이런 어떤 중심화에 대한 아시아의 지점에서 강한 타자에 의한 객관적 학제 구성 과실을 내는 자기 노래의 가치를 조사하는 것이 칭찬받을 수 있습니다.
各位观众请注意，现在馆内发生火灾，请大家保持镇定，听从工作人员的引导，感谢大家的配合。各位观众请注意，现在馆内发生火灾，请大家保持镇定，
지역 화력이 어느 정도 거세기 때문에
感谢大家的配合。
국경을 바라보는 천들과 관계들을 통해서 새로운 이러한 화력이나 집단한 행보가 자본주의적 전지구의 선물인 이런 과정 속에서 보다 적극적으로 아시아의 수상의 행보를 의미 줄 필요가 있습니다. 그래서 서구가 아시아가 아시아를 직접 침략적으로 비상하고 불행한 역사 경험과 극복 경험들을 문화 정치의 지대로서 아시아로 전문학과의 역사적 아시아 제도를 전하는 작업이 필요한 것입니다. 저는 이 작업의 궁극적인 목적은 세계적인 자본 재평가전에 관계의 역사라는 전문이라고 생각합니다. 그래서 아시아의 역사로 아시아의 세계사의 편을 다시 쓰고 지도를 다시 그리는 작업을 해나가는 것입니다. 그런데 아시아는 부산가치가 대단히 가치 지향이 되기 때문에 다수의 사상적 지향이 경합하고 수정한 문화 정치적 형태로서 표현이 됩니다. 그래서 그 지역 안에 공존하는 서로 다른 국제 시간성 및 공간성에 대한 공정과 인정을 통해서 궁극적으로 서로다른 시공간에서 치열하게 이루어진 지역의 살기에 대한 흔적과 가능성을 포착하는 주체적 내성을 확보하고 그것들을 의미하는 작업을 지속해 나가는 것입니다. 이러한 작업이 다수의 사상적 지향이 경합하고 실행하는 문화 정치적 마당이라는 열린 과정의 재현 속에서 이루어지고 가야 되는 것입니다. 그래서 아시아 생산계획의 생산적인 운용 시장들을 몇 가지 짚어보겠습니다. 첫째는 역사적 아시아주의를 재구성하는 것입니다. 다케우치는 아시아 대전을 빚는 새로운 관점의 통일을 통해서 저는 일본 생산계가 아시아 변화를 상정하고 그 변화를 추적하는 인식 방법을 극복하고자 했습니다. 그러나 저는 아시아의 재구성 문제는 아시아에서 냉전에 세세한 문제와 중심적으로 연관지어서 연결되어야 합니다. 제가 지금 그 시간이 없어서 그 중간중간 빼서 있기 때문에 지금 드린 자료를 가지고 읽어주시기 바랍니다. 그래서 하나는 냉전의 문화화 작업, 그리고 다시 말해서 사방적 대치의 아시아적 재구성을 해나가야 될 것이라고 생각합니다. 그래서 아시아에서 재구성이 아시아 이것의 사상적 연세들이 사상적 대체를 일으키는 측면들 그것을 어떻게 재문학해낼 것이냐. 그래서 그것을 우리 사상자와도 가져올 것이냐.
各位观众，欢迎参观上海当代艺术博物馆。本场馆的消防员
운동을 어떻게 다시 역사적으로 재문하는 시간이 되겠습니다. 이것은 그 제3세계 운동의 인념적지만 역시 마오이즘입니다. 그래서 마오이즘을 1960년대 세계 생산사의 전환과정에 전환학하는 작업과 중요한 것입니다. 그리고 다음으로 지금 어제까지의 토론 속에서 아시아가 많이 이렇게 여러 모습을 드러났는데요. 제가 제기하고 싶은 것은 오늘은 중심화되어가는 아시아는 이번 주제처럼 변동하고 있습니다. 그래서 이동하는 아시아 현실 속에서 세상과를 전환해야 아시아 최근 한국 사회 구성 변화를 일탈 경제적 이동과 이주 그것은 이동하는 아시아를 바라보기 좀 기대하는데요. 그래서 이 공간적인 조정이 아시아에서 이루어지고 있는 것. 8년 사이 변화하는 아시아. 그래서 그 초국적 이동의 과정 속에서 다시 정주하는 아시아, 이동하는 주체들이 새로운 삶의 재형터 과정 속에서 어려움, 이중적 특치와 배제, 새로운 다른 정체성의 경험, 종족적, 계급적, 젠더적 문화적 중심 결정 과정 속에서의 서로 없는 다른 정체성의 형질, 그런 것은 그런 관계적 공간의 생산 속에서 해당 정규사회로부터 아래로부터 성과 시민과 신선과 또 법적 제도의 창출을 요구합니다. 그래서 하나의 국민과 처음에 체계에서 새로운 국가 간 체제의 관계 내용을 외워야 되고 그런 데에서 그래서 새로운 핵심 제대 문제를 평등한 관계성을 구현하는 가치 제한의 규칙과 실현이라는 문제를 사상화의 과제로 손지 않을 수 없는 것입니다. 그리고 이제 마지막으로 베나카운셀에서 어제 2013년 주제를 말씀하셨는데 굉장히 중요한 문제이긴 하지만 이것만 말씀을 드리고 말씀을 드리겠습니다. 일단은 거기에서 남북 문제를 말씀하셨는데 거기서 제3자의 역할의 중요성을 강조하셨습니다. 그들은 유사하게 동의하지만 위에서 제기한 아시아 특별한 한출에서 문제를 보면 그래서 여전히 그 문제를 해결하는 주체를 남한과 북한의 인민 혹은 주민의 한정화에 가동하고 있습니다. 그런데 지금 아시아는 부단히 재구성되고 형성되고 있고 우리 안의 아시아와 우리의 밖의 아시아가 서로 새롭게 작용하면서 국민과 안과 밖을 흔들어가고 있습니다. 그래서 그런 그 사람들에게 여기에 관련할 수 있는 권한을 어떻게 줄 것이냐. 다시 말하면 새로운 주차와의 건물을 만들어주는 것까지 사과하지 않으면 2014년 체제는 아시아적 의미를 찾지 못할 것입니다. 최근에 2012년 말 우리가 만든 국면은 한국, 중국, 미국 모두 권력적 편애를 받고 있습니다. 최근에 미국 국방부에서 조사한 거에 따르면 중국의 국방비가 10년 동안 4배를 뻥 튀었습니다. 동북아 한국은 200조 원대의 국민 경쟁을 벌이고 있습니다. 이렇게 국민 경쟁이 일어나고 있는 가운데 이런 최근 관계의 재편이 어떻게 아시아적 삶을 보장할지 모르겠지만 우리 아시아의 화상화 작업이라고 하는 것은 아시아의 새로운 길을 열어가는 사회 지층적 아시아다움 사회 지층적 아시아다움 을 관철할 수 있는 주체의 형성과 그것의 경로를 밝히는 그러한 사상 세계의 생활 경로를 다시 하는 것이 진정한 과제가 아닌가 합니다. 다시 한번 이런 자리의 참석하게 돼서 너무나 고맙고 이런 자리를 마련하라고 생각하는 여러분께 감사드립니다.
非常感谢白元旦女士的这个非常具有现实关切，同时呢又有这个很深的分析的这样一个讲演。那么因为时间关系呢，我们刚才有演习是吧？因为时间关系，就是说实际上它有一个非常周密的稿子，大家要想系统的理解，可以看那个他的这份讲演稿。那么下面我们今天的第2位的发言者呢，是我们的老朋友 Ashish。他是班加罗尔文化与社会研究中心的高级研究员，但是呢，很多朋友都知道他，是因为他从去年到今年，他实际上一直在主持我们西天计划里面的电影的这个部分一个系列的活动。所以说，他从北京、上海、香港、广州、昆明，中国非常多的城市他都跑遍了，也交下了很多朋友。我们请他来给我们。讲一讲他的体会，这几天的体会。
Thank you very much. Time is short, and I've also learned to speak slowly out of respective consideration for our translator friends, and also because of the criticism that Indians speak too fast. So I will speak slowly, but within the time schedule. What's happening? Yeah. In case you wonder why the soundtrack is there, it's because I've asked them to put it there. performance today. Partly because I decided that I was going to, for various reasons, which I will come to, explore the concept of subversion. Subversion is a word that we have grown up with. It's a word that has defined a lot of so-called radical practices in the late 20th century, mid to late 20th century. And I'm interested in what constitutes that term. What is the meaning of that particular term today? Yeah? The reason why the soundtrack is there is because there was actually an effort on the part of state structures to subvert radical occasions by actually overlaying them with a soundtrack. Such as this one saying there is a fire outside. So everybody has to now think or speak or continue to sit or continue to think reasonably in the assumption that there is a fire just outside. And that you have to somehow or the other pretend that there is no fire, pretend that just over the night, and that this is just a drill, and try and ignore it. The first time I encountered this particular strategy of a text like this was a Soviet film after Perestroika, which was, I've forgotten the name of that film, but it's actually a film about a dead body from the socialist period that refuses to be buried. I don't know if you remember the film. It's a film in which the body keeps surfacing again and again. The problem was that this was a Georgian film and they did not censor it. What they did was, they took the Georgian film and put on top of the Georgian film a heavy Russian soundtrack that completely drowned out all the significance of the imagery before a heavy text, that said, this is what the film is about. And there was a peculiar way in which that particular voice, it was a single voice, sort of leveled out everything. And then that particular film was shown without subtitles in Bombay, and we had a person sitting in the audience, a Russian, who was further translating that into English. And in this welter of conversations, I realized that something very dramatic was happening, which is that the film was being censored. Not being censored because it was being cut, but being censored through an overlay of sounds, such as this particular sound. There is a fire outside. I want to title my presentation, there is a fire outside, in honor of this particular soundtrack. So if it comes back, remember. In 1962, my father was a prisoner of war in the war that took place between India and China. He was the first person in my family to travel to China without a visa. He was a prisoner of war, he was captured, and he was then taken to various cities in China. China, as a result, for me, was a very strange place. It was a place that was part fantasy, partly the result of my own left legacies, a place that I was deeply interested in and invested in, and I also tried to understand. Therefore, the first time I was invited to China, courtesy of the International Cultural Studies, I came with that baggage. I came with that legacy saying, my God, China. And I think that anybody from India who comes to China, the first time says, my God, China. China. I mean, just imagine. Having come to China now something like 8 times, an astonishing development has taken place. It is a little bit like, I think, this is an example of that man who was cleaning the toilet. China has become like any other place to me. It's astonishing for me to think of China being just another place, and we come to Shanghai just as I go to any other place. The fantasy of China has now been diminished, and it is a place. It is an early 21st century place. I'm dealing with metropolitan China like I'm dealing with metropolitan any other place on earth. It's an astonishing development that I think has taken place, and I think such developments do need to be thought through, and I want to explain a little bit as to why. Last year, West Heavens was very kind to invite me to curate a film festival. Now this was at that time when I did it, and through early last year I was starting to think about what sort of a film package this should be. It seemed to me that the only way that I could think of taking an Indian film package to China was in the old mode of cultural, cultural export or cultural exchange. Indian cinema coming to China is a very old practice. I mean, all the Raj Chocolate films and so on. It's actually state-to-state relations. And at that point of time, it occurred to me that although I was not wanting a state-to-state relationship, there was no, in that situation, there was no other model available to me other than taking an Indian film package and making it available to Chinese audiences and say this is a film package from India. Now, it need not be from India, and what is India anyway? It may be actually a dubious set of sources, which collectively come together as though these are an Indian package. And I remember long ago, when I was growing up and we all were young and watching films in the film society, all that you knew about the film you were watching was that it was a film from Switzerland, or it was a film from Mongolia. You had no idea beyond that as to what this film was about. And you watched it like you go to a museum, like you watch a strange object from a strange country. Last year when we did Road Belong, I think we started a bit like that. But I'm saying that just as China today is now a place I've got used to, so I think we have also moved beyond cultural exchange structure to something else where we can now, as we are doing, think of far more sophisticated kinds of and far more specialist exchanges between individuals who now have a history of conversation between them. To this I'm completely indebted to the Literature Initiative. I think that we are no longer speaking of country-to-country structures. At least I hope we are not. Some of us will have to, and I don't blame them. I don't know how else you can begin. But I think that as you move on, you realize that even the people you invite, the manner in which you invite them, the responsibilities you place on them, the sorts of texts you expect them to do, the sorts of collaborations you are thinking of, they're changing quite dramatically. And it is in that particular change, that dramatic change, that I want to try and explore the concept of subversion today. Okay? I'm saying that when we talked to the modern Asian thought the other day, or indeed many of the presentations that were made, I think that there was this idea that the network that we have across Asia would be able to support a lot of initiatives. But I'm very interested then as to how the network will not just support initiatives. So I will not say, oh yeah, I have so much money in Delhi, and I want to call a music group from Korea, and therefore I will use the literature office of Korea and say, can you suggest a musician I will call? That's not what I'm thinking of, although it's possible that might be also the use to which that network could be put. Yeah? I'm thinking of a manner of artistic expression that reproduces this kind of network structure, or which reproduces the concerns that we are now talking about. Okay? And I want to try and draw a relation to some of those kinds of practices. Specifically, I am interested in the manner in which the Literature Initiative and the entire Asian idea, one colleague this morning said, so what's new? I mean, Asia is something we talked about through much of the mid to late 20th century, and we can actually go quite a way back, depending on how you want to date this particular history of Asia, and how does Asia mean, as Sundar called it. And I think the one change that has taken place is that we are actually going digital with a vengeance. And when we are going digital, I think something very interesting is happening, which is that the 20th century, maybe even the 19th century, are being reinvented in being simulated on a digital platform. So you're having a digital public sphere and a certain idea of what you might say, e-oppression, e-poverty, all the problems of the 20th century with the E suffix to them. So migration, let us say. And many of the political structures within the digital imaginary are reprising some of the early 20th century patterns. And I think this is a part of the challenge, I think, again, quotes Chatterjee as saying that there is a peculiar way in which, I forgot the exact quote, the 20th century or even earlier is being repositioned or reprised in this context. And what's happening is that this 20th century history has become especially important in the simulation structure. Yeah? So we're not looking at it just in terms of history, we're looking at it also in terms of a virtuality where this history is being reenacted. And some of these legacies and also subversive practices, I think we will have that particular history. Can anyone guess as to what this image behind me is? And it's a stand-up if you're going. This is a very typical early 18th century painting by the Daniels. Yeah, it's a style of painting that came to be known in England as picturesque mode. But what was very interesting was the manner in which this picturesque mode was invented, was brought into India. It was all the time as though the scenes of India had to include monuments and had to include people. The monuments were huge. The monuments are massive monuments, and the people are diminished. They are made diminutive. The people are never not there, but the monuments are there, and you have a curious way in which it appears as though the monuments can speak history. The monuments become mute witnesses to history in a way that people cannot be or are not. It is as though when you are an outsider and you come there, the monuments will speak to you and give you an eyewitness account almost of the history of the monument we have seen in a way that the human being is incapable of doing. Next. I'm actually highlighting on the right-hand side the people just to indicate how tiny the people are. There are always people, but amongst the scenes of gigantic nature, the scenes of massive landscapes and enormous monuments, the human beings are always there, and they're made smaller and smaller and smaller. Next. Next, yes. You get the point. This is Daniels, the Thomas and William Daniels. Next. Yeah? Yeah, people. Yeah. It's almost once you get the grammar of that particular pictorialism, you get very curious debate. No. Yeah, yes. Next. Yeah. Sometime in the 90s, the Indian still photographer Raghu Rai, very important still photographer from India, was invited to photograph a very important set of monuments. And he, in a sense, did something exactly the opposite. And indeed, I think it's only possible to understand Raghu Rai's pictorial strategy as a complete inversion of this colonial strategy of representation. The people have come in the front, the monument has gone in the back. Next. The certain kind of surfacing of everyday life which was precisely not there in that colonial representation has come to the front, and the monument has receded. Next. Yeah. This is a form, if you like, of subversion, but I don't think Raghu Rai intended it as such. But I think it's a form that comes again and again when you're starting to look at a way by which history is being reprised in a simulated form. You have a situation in which you have this historical legacy, and then it is either before you, or it is something you have to unconsciously work with. Next. Yeah? Sorry? 3 minutes left. Okay. Yeah. Keep going. I move to another kind of archives. I have only 3 minutes left afterwards, so I'm going to try and finish in this time. This was a very, very important film made by a filmmaker called Mrinal Sen in 1971 in Calcutta. It was called Calcutta 71. Mrinal Sen made this film about the radical politics of the city of Calcutta. And in order to make that film, he was shooting a lot of street scenes in Calcutta. And one day, when he was shooting these, after he made the film, when he took all these scenes and put them inside, a young militant, a young radical who was from the Communist Party of India, Marxist-Leninist, came to him and said, when did you start shooting? And Mrinal Sen said, I think sometime around the early 70s. And he said, you are lying, Mr. Sen. You started shooting this from April 1969. I know this because that man who was there was my friend, and he was shot dead by the police in May of 1969. Suddenly you find a situation in which very casual photographs that Mrinal Sen's cameraman was taking, and keep going now. Mrinal Sen's cameraman was taking off radical scenes in Calcutta become historical records of people, some of whom were killed in action, as part of the police. And this then became a record of something. Of something far more significant than Mrinal Sen ever imagined. This now constitutes like a second subversion of history itself. It is where the historical data that's now being put into digital platforms is speaking more than the kind of data that you want, the kind of information you want it to give. Okay, and to conclude this with my very last point, in fact, this in some ways I'm hoping will constitute a continuation with Claire's presentation when she put talk about the archive as well. I'm very interested, for example, in the manner in which, as we reprise the 20th century, this incredible turn into archives and archival responsibilities that everybody is now taking on themselves. A responsibility that makes each of us, if you like, into archivists of a kind, as Nelson himself was. In Calcutta in 1972, this particular film was released in the Metro Theatre, and people kept on coming every single night and seeing the film again and again, and trying to spot their friends in the audience, in the crowds. This was not how Senate intended the film to be. Okay, so, my very concluding point, in India right now we have this new identity project, which is getting to be the royal entry, if you like, of every single citizen of this country, supposedly single resident of this country, to enter the digital domain. People are being, if you like, repositioned as digital citizens. And you have a situation in which unique identity cards are being given, unique identity numbers are being given to actually existing people based on a biometric structure that would convert, if you can imagine it. You know, on this side you have this man, whoever he might be, there. Let's call him Ram Singh or something, into becoming a digital variant of himself. It is not Ram Singh, it is E-Ram Singh, you might say. It is an E-version of the man. And this is something I'm very, very interested in exploring next. This is a typical manner in which actually existing people are being virtualized in India. Let us remember that it is not only Twitter and Facebook that's doing it, it's happening in this incredibly complex sort of state definition. I'm not only interested in the politics of it, although there is a politics to it, I'm interested in the amount of digital data that is generated. And I leave you, since time is gone, with the question of how such data can speak more than what it is intended to speak, in the manner in which regularized images of colonial India said more than what the Daniels intended them, or as those radical photographs of Mrinal Sen said more than what Mrinal Sen intended them to say. Thank you very much.
非常感谢Ashish，然后从这些东方主义的风景画到纪录片，一直到最后现在的刚才他最后向我们展示的一个公民社会的所有的这个记录的档案化的这些设置，我们其实Ashish想跟我们讲的是非常多的东西。这个多的东西因为时间的关系，他没有给我们完全的展开。因为昨天我跟他沟通的时候，他说他会讨论documentary， 而那个我们下一位讲者徐文介女士 Claire， 她会给我们讲 archive。documentary 和 archive 之间到底有什么牵连、什么关系？我想是，我希望就是能够他们两位的这个讲演中能够呈现出来。因为徐文介是亚洲艺术文献库的创办人和现在的行政总监。实际上，请他来一个很重要的意义是，向大家展示艺术界也有人在长期从事着亚洲内部的跨文化的连接以及知识的积累。亚洲艺术文献库呢，成立于12年前，那个时候开始，我想，它就不仅仅是一个文献的储存收集的意义，它实际上文献在这个 archive 在这里成为一种动词，它成为一种方法，一种进行这个研究、理解和行动的一种方法。我想现在下面就是请我们欢迎这个 Claire 来给我们做她的讲演。
Thank you, I'd just like to thank Johnson and the Tenghuan team for the invitation in what I was told was the art panel of the Asian Circle of Thought Summit 2012, and also thank you to Chun Yoon and the team for all the arrangements. It's indeed an honor to be included in a list of such prominent and well-respected scholars and thinkers in the field, many who significantly have gathered together in China for the first time this week. While I was unable to attend the whole week of programs, the last 3 days alone have provided a rare opportunity for cross-regional, simultaneously translated discussion and exchange of thoughts around a diversity of issues that fundamentally try and make sense of who and why we are today. I must confess that this is my first in the Inter-Asia programs, despite being aware of its activities for a long time, and even more shocking, my first conference outside the realm of the art world. I can't, however, help locate the discussion within the art field, considering my place in it, and for the fact that we are sitting in the middle of the Shanghai Biennial. In fact, the title of the summit sounds like one that a biennial might employ. As I've wandered from the talks and discussions into the exhibitions and back, there are obvious works that both resonate and mutually enrich one another and the ideas that we presented within this room. For example, on the screen you have Egyptian artist Wael Sheikhi's work, who I saw in the catalogue, but I couldn't actually find it in the exhibition. But I've seen the work a number of times, and it's called The Cabaret Crusades, the Horror Show Files, which recount the events of 1096 to 1099 in Egypt, based on a book by novelist Amin Malouf, The Crusades Through Arab Eyes. Reenacted using 200-year-old marionettes, the work is literally a horror show of betrayal and bloody massacre, the age-old fight between East and West, encounters that remain with us today. Next slide, please. All the work, which is just on this floor, of Mariam Jaffrey, whose photographic installation, Independence Day 1936 to 1967, presents a series of archival photos that capture not only the first day of the nation-state after the end of colonization, but also capture what the artist refers to as the twilight period in the 24 hours before a country becomes a nation-state. As the caption for the work reads, what is striking in the photos are the similarities, despite the geographical and temporal origins, revealing a political model imported by Europe and being cloned throughout the world. Echoing some of the points in Professor Nandi's presentation yesterday, one cannot help but feel breathless at the absoluteness of the ideology of the nation-state, and at the same time, the individual experience and place in shaping this. The realms of art, social activity, and thought are increasingly being drawn upon by artists, thinkers, and curators. The number of biennials, for example, in the last few years, Taipei and Istanbul, are progressively being used as socially, politically charged spaces with, you might argue, varying degrees of success. But I think what comforts me about the last few days, however, is the possibility for expanding the reference points beyond those located often in the West, and the formulation of hybrid strategies which can mutually inform both. So the premise of the conference, which I received in email, was to provide a ground from which to create new forms and modes of knowledge for the future of global peace and a more humane world. And I'd now like to talk to you a bit about the work that we're doing at the Asia Archive and how it might be considered, even in a small way, as a system or method under this umbrella. So the archive was founded in 2000, in fact, by myself and Johnson Chang. We are an independent non-profit organization based in Hong Kong, and we've been dedicated to documenting and increasing access to information on the recent histories of art in Asia. Histories that continue to be difficult to research, where material and documentations are scattered and writings are sparsely translated. A might be seen as one of several attempts to balance the way in which knowledge around contemporary art is accessed, produced, engaged, and circulated in a region where the market and national agendas increasingly dominate and shape this reading. So our goal is really to facilitate much needed research and scholarship in the field by making the collection freely accessible from the physical space in Hong Kong and from our website. While you can find what you might expect in any library, reference books, exhibition catalogues, periodicals, and monographs, AA's collection also includes a vast digital collection of over 300,000 primary and secondary source material or documents collected through a systematic program of research and information gathered by its team in Hong Kong, researchers based in different cities in Asia, and a rotating advisory board. In June earlier this year, next slide please, next slide. In June earlier this year, the archive inaugurated a reconstructed website which has begun and will over time provide access to hundreds of thousands of digitized primary source materials and video recordings. These include digitized slides, photographs, correspondence, notebooks, interviews, sketches, really all invaluable artifacts for research. It's currently in English, but the long-term goal is obviously to have it translated in multiple languages, although there are different languages according to original material already inside the database. So the launch of the new website has really been key in going one step further in implementing the importance that the AAA places on accessibility. And as we try and imagine alternative spaces for which knowledge around art is considered and produced without a price tag, our philosophy is not one of ownership, of who has access to the knowledge within our archive and who does not, of who can create knowledge from the archive, from the material in the archive and who cannot. Instead, we are excited by the possibilities in this digital world of challenging the original association of the archive, still widely in circulation today, with authority, power and control, and generating a space where members of the community can come together on equal grounding from anywhere in the world to research, debate and discuss. The Universal Archive, as discussed by Manuel Borja Vilel, who is the director of the Reina Sofia in Madrid, in relationship to the museum today, is perhaps helpful in thinking about AA's approach. For Borja Vilel, the museum is not the owner of its collection, but its custodian in a global network of many other institutions. And quote, he says, if our society's economic system is based on scarcity, allowing artworks to attain stratospheric values, then the Universal Archive is based on excess, an ordering that escapes accounting criteria. Here the richest are those who receive the stories, but those who give or narrate them are none the poorer. It is a matter of constituting federations of free communities that contribute to the common. So the way that we build the digital archive is basically by identifying a body of key sets of materials. So it can either be an individual archive, it can be an organizational archive. Many of these organizations are now defunct, or really fall into, we identify a focus as being key to understanding the history of the region, but yet remain largely invisible. So performance art is an example. So these bodies of material are then digitized after an in-depth process of negotiation and discussion with their owners and the AA researchers. So following the process, the digital copies come to the archive for public access, while the physical material stays with their owners in their place of origin. We believe it's important for the material to have multiple readings, and the relationship created with the body of material that comes into the archive, which is regional in focus, might be very different to the one in which the material is read in, say, its original national context. At the same time, however, we would hope that the material that comes into the archive has many lives. And I missed Professor Chatterjee's presentation, but reading through it on the way, would hope that as he follows the travels of the monument to the black hole incident, we too wish to constantly push the material within the collection to be reread and challenged, not only within its immediate context of the collection, as that's continually shaped as new material comes into it, but also, obviously, in a temporal sense, as time passes and we use new eyes to read the world around us. One's inclusion into AAA should not resemble a death sentence, nor a digital monument to replace the physical self. So I'd like to give you an example of a digitization project that we were working on. Next slide, please. And this is a large part of the personal archive of art critic Geeta Kapoor and artist Vivan Sundaram, who are based in Delhi. And this project took a year, and it was our researcher based in Delhi, Sabi Ahmed, who worked on it. And basically, he practically moved in with the couple for a year while digitizing parts of their personal archive. So the archive now, through the new website, is partly accessible. and it includes a broad range of material collected by Kapoor and Sundaram since the 1960s, and not only documents the artworks and writings produced and published, but also documents events in India's art community over the last 50 years, so leading the material in many other directions as well. So to date, we've digitized a number of different projects to include this one, but also the career of Filipino artist Roberto Chalet, 50 years of his career, kind of the mother of all of our projects, Materials of the Future, documenting contemporary Chinese art in the 1980s, which itself includes over 80 in-depth video interviews and approximately 100,000 digital items from the archives of Mao Suhui, Zhang Peili, Wu Chanzhuan, Fei Dawei, Zhang Xintian, Lu Peng, Zhang Xiaogang. There's a host of different archives that have been brought together. Currently, we're working on the digitization of 2 organizational archives in Vietnam, one in Saigon and one in Hanoi. The archive of Hong Kong artists in the framework of performance art, The Frog King, and 4 archives in Baroda, Ghulam Sheikh, Joyti Bhatt, KG Subramaniam, and Ratan Paramu. These archives alone will result in thousands of items of primary and secondary material, in addition to our existing collection of 300,000. Yet when we consider these archives, what exactly is it that they say about the history of art of the region? Well, they on the one hand provide a number of possible entry points into considering the discourses around modernity and the contemporary in the field. They fail to tell any kind of comprehensive official story or history. And just to be clear, this is not our intent or our interest. The impossibility and absurdity of the idea of a single archive to tell the entire story is one we are well aware of. While we often casually speak of this all-encompassing Asia, we are also aware that the construct of Asia is one that is fraught for multiple reasons. At the same time, we're cognizant of the implications of our well-intentioned meanings, recreating the very power structures which we are looking to break down. And so long as we are one of the few visible platforms doing this kind of work, these entry points fall into the danger of canonizing or even misrepresenting the histories of the region. But there's much urgent work to be done, and so we have started. But on the premise that our approach to Asia is not to tell an Asian story, but might be best described using the title of Chen Guanxing's book, Asia as Method. The idea of using Asia as an imaginary anchoring point is one that resonates with our approach. To echo Chen, we are imagining a space in which societies in Asia, or in fact Africa and Latin America, can become each other's points of reference, so as to provide alternative horizons and perspectives from those well-traveled between the West and East. So, at the archive, we're always trying to stay mindful of falling into the Asia for Asians East-West binary trap. A quote in a major newspaper a couple of weeks ago perhaps best describes our frame of mind most of the time. It was a comment on the current political developments in Egypt, in which the commentator said, "We are not specifically anti-West nor specifically pro-West, we're just not looking at the West." There's so much work that needs to be done from the ground up within the region, and we're very busy trying to do a small part of this work, not just for Asia, but hopefully for the rest of the world, including the West. So bringing a substantial body of material into the public realm. Earlier this year, has pressed AAA into further considering its responsibility as not only the accumulators and disseminators of this material, but its role in how the material will be interpreted and built upon. Or as Filipino art historian and critic Patrick Flores proposed in a recent discussion at the archive, it's more how we inflect rather than interpret the content within our collection from a specified alignment. So over the years, we've consistently held programs to include talks, symposia, artists, residencies, research grants, high school teacher programs. But as we enter what I would say a second life phase, our goal is to focus and streamline all of these programs so that they constantly help us think through the archive and its collection, and thus reshape it as we go along, not only Asia as method, but archive as method. So in line with this thinking, together with the Archives website, we also launched Field Notes. Can I have the next? Yeah. Which is a tri-annual, bilingual e-journal intended to provide a space for more in-depth reflection of issues prevalent in the field, with Asia as a malleable anchoring point. And for the first issue, we began by looking at the notion of contemporary art, of the contemporary in art, with specificity to the context in Asia. We're sort of aware of this global unsettling and what seems like a collective anxiety around the term contemporary, that's manifested through the proliferation of conferences and publications around the theme, suggesting its demise. Our approach to the issue had to be carefully considered. So as we revisited these discussions, it became clear that one of the most referenced documents on the topic was American art historian and critic Hal Foster's questionnaire, sent out in 2009 to a number of critics and curators in North America and Europe. Considering the role of the non-Western world within this conversation, the contemporary, and the deeply entrenched relationship of the contemporary to the global, it was an interesting proposition for the questionnaire to be resuscitated and addressed from alternative latitudes, which is what we did. And so in this issue, we present responses to A's expanded and mutated version of the questionnaire from over 40 professionals in the field. I'm not going to rehash all of the responses here, but I'd like to summarize and highlight a few key points, as I believe they are relevant to the premise of this summit, even though they are specific to the art field. So the responses from the questionnaire not only map the multiple and disjunctive layers in which one must consider contemporary art in Asia, but go further and make apparent the urgency to consider the origins and the usages of the words contemporary and modernity in the art histories of the region. Some of these terms are being used at exactly the same time. So a number of the responses cite that the problem with the current usage of the contemporary in incorporating art from other parts of the world following modernity does so without any serious threat to Western hegemony, and there is an overall call for a history of specifics, or a scholarship of specifics. Art historian Audrey Gupta calls for a reintroduction of a politics of place into the conceptualization of contemporary art and contemporaneity. On the one hand, to replace the obscurity of the global, of the no nation, no history, no place, and on the other to consider a new ethics for transformational art practices that have emerged through the politics of locality. So, and as Patrick Flores argues, it's how we connect history to place, which, from which resistance to totality can be fought. So, just one step further, in the words of founding editor of Third Text and artist Rashid Aran in a recent email, quote, "The problem with art today, particularly in Asia, is that it has not only detached itself from the past, but it's ignorant of the past, both its successes and failures. Consequently, it doesn't know which way to go in order to fulfill its historical responsibility to produce new ideas that can enter and strengthen humanity's pursuit for a better world." And so while AA can on the one hand offer some of the tools, there obviously need to be many other initiatives to assist in the writing of these histories, in connecting or locating the contemporary to its past. We also see our unique role in our function as an archive for art in being able to push the boundaries of how we define knowledge beyond a more research-based practice. As it is, after all, the artists are the original creators of the knowledge which we collect at the archive, we also believe it's important to invite artists into the archive to develop projects around the content in the collection, but also in response to the structures or ideas that an archive initiates. So obviously systems of knowledge, memory, history. So our current artist in residency offers a good example of an alternative way in which knowledge can be created from the archive to kind of reformulate the material and the data to create a new set of data. Next slide, please. So for the last 6 months, Hong Kong-based artist architect Duo Map Office have been working to produce the Atlas of Asia Art Archive, for which they went through every single monograph in AA's collection to compile a list of territories, both real and imagined, but these territories are ones based on what artists are working on. So they then selected 111 territories, and they were presented, 111 AAA, presented in an installation in our library, which resemble kind of advertising brochures that you might find in a travel agent. Next slide, please. To include the artist's names, the territory he or she is working on, and new categorizations which they've put in that include universal values, epic journey, constructed fiction, and then also a quote from a writer on that particular territory. So the project has been important for us on a number of levels as we consider and debate how material is catalogued and the keywords are assigned, but also to go beyond national frameworks and borders to offer more poetic reading and entry points into thinking about Asia. So last weekend, next slide, close to 100 people gathered for Performing the Archipelago, a series of talks, performances and screenings which invited artists from the Atlas to activate their specific territories. So through the processes and references that then informed them, but with each event becoming an accumulation knowledge on the Atlas. So the project will continue to be performed in other venues and looks to provide cross readings of, or multiple trajectories and open new routes from which Asia is deterritorialized and reterritorialized. So just to end, working within what Nancy Alajana and Ranjit Hoskote, who are based in Bombay, refer to as the nth space, which they term as the untagged and unnumbered zone of cultural and political possibility in a specific point in time. It's how we connect and activate the knowledge within and out of the archive to other knowledge networks and nodes that will be essential. How do we understand our neighbours in different spaces in time? How can we create a contemporary language that does not simply revisit existing binaries? And how do we translate the intellectual sources of regional modernity into globally comprehensive terms? Using the archivist method, and hopefully with your help, we hope to provide one of the possible spaces in which these questions can be tackled. Thank you.